Welcome back, fellow travelers. How kind of you to stop by at the Creepypasta Vault. We have all the things your heart desires and more. Come along and I'll show you. Yes, you did come here to learn more about Kirby, didn't you? Exactly, just as I thought. Well, we have that in spades for you today, as we've dug up and recovered 10 stories of, varying quality for your viewing pleasure. Here's a picture of one of the miners during the expedition. He died for your sins. Anyways, I'm glad you've joined us for today. My name is Dennis, and I will be your tour guide. I would like to give a massive thanks to all of you who suggested this video. You guys are awesome. Come with me into Dreamland as we count down the top 10 worst Kirby creepypastas. Number 10. Project K. This is my very first creepypasta, so don't hate on me if it's bad. Instead, give some pointers because I'll redo it later. Now that sounds like a good idea. At the end of the story, I will give some of my own thoughts on it as courtesy to the author. I'm not here to put anyone down. It has been only 2 days since the Doomsday began. Our home country has been set ablaze by the masked marauder and his airship. No one really knows what or who he is, or why he wants to take over. All we know is that we only have one chance to fight against him. Project K. Oh, this is epic. We haven't tested this project yet, but we can tell you this. This creature, if you can call it that, is completely unstable with an immense force of unstoppable power. It was created in our labs when we discovered a special energy from a black hole that fell to our land on a glowing stone. Both were taken in for studying. When we combined the energy of the black hole with other space elements, we came up with this creature, and it was so unstable, then it nearly destroyed our labs. Our scientists have managed to keep it under wraps for now, and it will soon be released against the masked marauder. The only way we seem to be able to control it is to give it a constant supply of rations so that it won't go completely uncontainable. It seems to have adapted to our planet fairly quickly and seems to be able to fly by controlling air currents in its body. It also seems to learn extremely fast. It can turn almost anything we give to it into a weapon. It does this by using its body to completely engulf its victim or target, and completely destroy it then, extracting the remains or energy to use for it. If it rejects the target, it will shoot it out in a giant energy projectile. As for the glowing stone, we have studied its properties and have discovered its link with Project K. It seems that it is a flying device that increases Project K's speed tenfold to fly at warp speeds, but has a limited range, only being able to fly from one area to another. Today is the day that the masked marauder has declared that he would destroy our country and set it aflame. We have no choice to send out Project K. It has seen everything that has happened, so we need no explaining. It goes straight for the glowing stone and it heads straight for the airship. As we watch, it seems the masked marauder has taken notice and has shot it down, but Project K has come back to fight. As we see Project K attack, we also see the masked marauder's minions. They were horrible sight, a combination of disturbing monsters. One was just a skull with limbs attached to its body, another was a creature that looked like us, only it had one huge eye that shot lasers. As it bloody fought its way through, we were surprised that it didn't seem to show any emotion. It jumped back on the glowing stone and headed for the rest of the ship. We watched as it gruesomely destroyed its victims and took down the ship single-handedly. But as the final moment came, the masked marauder came to fight it. When we got a clear look at him, he was a disturbing sight. His eyes were non-existing, only replaced with burning yellow holes, and he had wings of a daemon. His weapons was a rigged sword that seemed it could slice anyone in one blow. But as we watched Project K beat him easily, slicing him in half with his own sword, we were all overjoyed when it was finally over. Dreamland was safe again. Oh, what a twist. So, what are my thoughts on this story? It wasn't that bad. With some work and a lot less needless fluff, it could have probably been decent. The writing wasn't terrible for the most part, but absolutely needed another read-through as quite a few grammar issues and typos made it in. I think the story could have benefited from better story framing, as it started off just spouting so much exposition at you right off the bat, instead of easing in the reader. And my advice? Cut out everything to do with Kirby and make it its own story. Kirby can't really be scary, and I think the concept of the story would have worked out much better as an original, self-contained story. Now there we go, those are my thoughts. Keep on rocking, author. Alright, well, that story wasn't offensively bad, really, but this is just a tip of the iceberg, my fellow tourists. And the ride is about to get a whole lot bumpier. Number 9. Kirby the Amazing Horror. Heads up before we begin this story, I need to let you know that when I went on the site to read this story, my antivirus program warned me about a potential web attack, so enter the site at your own risk. It may contain viruses, so stay safe. Alright, this story right here is an interesting beast. It was originally written in Spanish, but just for fun, I used Google Translate to translate it, of course, and made a few changes to it to make it make more sense. Therefore, take everything I say in this story with a bit of a grain of salt, as I am not telling it in its original language, but I don't know how much will be lost in translation. One day, playing the GBA from my PC, I noticed that my Kirby game, The Amazing Mirror, was missing. I asked my brother if he had deleted it, he said yes. Then I went to download it. I do not remember the link of the page, but it seemed normal. Oh, there are so many commas in this story. I downloaded it. When I started the game, as always, I had the beginning, the opening, and that. When I was going to click on the enter key, I got the Kirby logo, very ugly. It said Kirby the Amazing Horror. That in Spanish would be Kirby el Maravilloso Horror. The background went macabre. Kirby came out with the sword Galaxia, the Metal Knight, stabbing the other Kirbys of other colors on a black background where the floor was blood red. This scared me, but I kept playing. But that was one of my mistakes, starting the game like any other, but seeing that Kirby did not have the other Kirbys left me scared. Kirby, instead of swallowing the enemies, killed them in a sadistic and abnormal way as a psychopath Kirby, grabbed the sword and the embed in the head, began to throw blood as if it were a source. To see it that way terrified me, as every fan of Kirby would do to see it that way. Then I turned off the PC. To turn it on, I left the game of GBA and opened. I played and everything was normal until I arrived with the first boss, which would be Zone 2. Kirby raised the sword and crossed it to boss 2, which was a rock tree. The tree vomited blood. Kirby goes crazy and starts flying across the screen. The music was gloomy, as if it had dying voices in the song moaning and crying pity. Kirby died and the game was closed. When I saw in the wallpaper of my PC, it said, "Thanks for playing." And in the background, Kirby was smiling macabre mind. Well, that got translated well. Since then, I do not play or download games with hacks, and in the end I deleted the game and the background never changed. I could not. In short, it was a terrifying experience that I do not want to have again. Well, all things considered, that was a pretty good translation, I guess. Thank you, Google Translate. I don't think we were missing out on too much. Number 8. Forever the Lost Flipnote. This formatting is so freaking weird. Does anybody know about Forever on Flipnote Hatina, that fangirl who liked Kirby? I certainly do not. Well, there was this one time. Forever accidentally published a Flipnote that was never supposed to be published on Flipnote Hatina. Okay, I guess we're just moving on, assuming that everyone knows who this is, huh? Apparently Forever was a popular animation artist from this old Flipnote Hatina site that I've never heard of before. What an obscure thing to base a story on. On the day it was published, it was soon deleted. This Flipnote was extremely sad. The story goes that one day I was looking around on Forever's Flipnote Hatina account. I found a strange Flipnote at the left. The thumbnail showed Kirbys Dead and the text said, "Rest in peace." So I played the Flipnote. The title card faded in and it said, "Goodbye Kirby." Just a simple text with a black background. There was no sound, but a faint whisper. I couldn't make out the whisper, but I think it might have said, "Goodbye, Kirby." The beginning showed Kirby walking around and acting like silly. Forever stops him and says, "Stop walking around." Kirby started to laugh, ha 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 ha. Then Magolor walking towards them. He spoke normal and said,
"Kirby, this is bad. Stop laughing at me at all. You are punished at everything."
Kirby began to cry and he then jumped off a cliff. Jesus Christ, Kirby, you drama queen. Forever started to scream, "No, Kirby, no!" It cut to Kirby. Oh my god, that voice crack. It cut to Kirby dead, and Forever looked at Kirby and said, "He's dead." And Zero looked at Kirby and said, "Yeah." The episode ended with Forever crying next to Kirby. The screen fades out to black. The screen flashes Kirby's dead, mangled body, gasping for air. Then, the song "How Could This Happen to Me" starts playing. You did not just write that. And the screen started to flash very creepy pictures of Kirby. Then, text appeared and said, "Rest in peace, Kirby." The credits showed and it simply just said, "Made by Forever." So, this was meant to be scary? An internet artist making something kid-friendly not that? I have certainly never seen that before. Number 7. Nightmare. I don't like this job. Yeah, get in line, buddy. It's too dangerous and horrifying. They don't even let me sleep. None of us can, but that doesn't matter. Here, let me back up. Our leader insists on stealing all of the country's resources, making everyone buying it back. He's a horrible leader. However, a terrible mooster has been roaming around the land. It says that it wishes to kill our leader. It eats everything it comes in contact with. Everything. Our artillery, food supply, even soldiers who toughen it out to try and stop it. What's worse, it mocks us by destroying others with weapons it's taken from soldiers it's eaten. Yeah, author, you're making it very obvious what the plot twist is gonna be. It killed our commanders, generals, it even beat our heavy airship. I had to warn the leader. So I went, but he wouldn't listen, and took the best weapon he could. It had it all, missless, a flamethrower, and it could shoot bolts of lightning, but that didn't matter. The monster killed our leader, sent him flying from the fortress. It doesn't even look threatening or sound threatening, it just is. It has a cute, squeaky voice, and is pink. They say I live in Dreamland. I say I live in a nightmare. Whoa, no one saw that coming, right? What happened next? Did Kirby rule the kingdom? Wasn't the original leader supposed to be a bad one? Why are people not celebrating? Why are you living a nightmare if your leader's tyrannical rule has come to an end? Why am I asking questions? Number 6. Kirbys Dead. Yeah, I know that the guys over at Bad Creepypasta read this story before, but it's just so good that I had to include it here as well. Enjoy! One day in September of 2012, my parents were at work and I was home alone. I decided to take out an old game, Kirby's Return to Dreamland trademark. I was ready for a wave of nostalgia. I popped in the disc and hit start. Now the first thing to strike me as odd was that, when the intro played, Kirby was missing and the rest of the characters did their normal animation, acting as if Kirby was there. As I reached the title screen, Kirby was still MIA, missing in action. Why would you not just write missing in action to begin with? Why bother typing it out for the reader? I ignored it, as these authors always do, and started a new game. The beginning cutscene was normal. Everything was fine until I entered Cookie Country. As I entered the first level, the enemies looked sad, and I swear that they had tears in their eyes as they died. It only got worse from there. The enemies started looking sadder and had fresh scars that bled realistic Vicks blood. As I got to the boss, I chose the fire copy ability. The color was a crimson red. As I climbed down the ladder, I screamed at what I saw. Wispy Woods had glowing red eyes, with blood pouring out from the eyes and mouth. Pieces of bark were torn off and the leaves were stained with blood. A text box appeared and in red oozing letters it read, You did this to me. We finish here. I was shocked at the evil little smile on the cute pink marshmallow's face. As I did a fire attack on the tree, the rest of the bark was burned to ashes. The smooth surface was tainted with blood. He shook the leaves and those spiked enemies fell out, splattered with blood. It's always blood, isn't it? Why can't it be Pepsi for once? They looked determined to kill Kirby. As I defeated Wispy, he fell over and his roots tore out of the ground with blood to follow. Kirby did his happy dance to no music. The same repeated for the rest of the areas, especially the morbid looking bosses, but Landia was the worst. Its eyes were black sockets with tears streaming from them. Blood stained its whole body. Kirby, I shall not let you. Let him do what? As I entered the second phase of the battle, I heard a roar from the speakers. I stared horrified as they left their makeshift body to decay as organs and blood soon fell out. It took only a few blows to defeat it. The screen cut to black. I didn't get scared because it happens all the time. Oh, listen, if we're supposed to use you as a blank slate in this story to experience these horrors together with you, perhaps it's best if you play it along and, you know, actually felt scared so we can too? Just a thought. I thought I would stay like that after a few minutes of waiting. I was about to shut off the Wii when something popped up. I shrieked. Kirby had an eerie grin with blood staining his fang-like teeth. The arms of Waddle Dee were stitched to his body. The legs of King Dedede and the wings of Meta Knight were stitched too. The names Waddle Dee and King Dedede cannot be used in a horror story. A text box appeared that read in the red oozing letters, You're next. I screamed again as I heard a distorted laugh. The intro came with Kirby missing and morbid characters. The warp star was also stained with blood. The title read in the same text, Kirbys Dead. As my parents walked through the door, I ran and hugged them, tears streaming down my face. Since then, I was never able to play that game. So far, the anniversary game has been going well, but I refuse to do the Dreamland part. Real things that happen. As you should know by now, I made this all up. No! This is not how you finish a supposed horror story. The only true part is that my TV does cut to black sometimes. This was my first creepypasta, so I hope you enjoyed. Well, I sure did. I got lots of enjoyment out of it. Lots of it. Number 5. Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland 2. This is based off of the Kirby series and Sonic.exe. This is not based on any real events, only fiction. Oh, thank the maker, I was about to pass out in fear. Thanks for letting me know that. David came back from a long day from school and ran up to his room. David was a short 13-year-old, brown-hair, blue-eyed Kirby fan. Ah, just your average teen, huh? David went over to his desk to do homework and found a game he had never seen before titled Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland 2. He picked it up and saw writing on the back, David, come join us in a game. Play with me. Must be his friends playing a joke. Maybe his mom bought it for him. Strangely enough, if Nintendo released a new game, why was it for Game Boy? Whatever, he wanted to play. How do you know it's a new game? He put the game in and turned on his Game Boy Advance. It didn't have an intro, it went straight to the title screen. Kirby looked different. He was covered in, wait for it, blood. His mouth was stitched close, his eyes were gouged out and bleeding. The background was black with blood dripping down it. Red, blue, green, purple, yellow, and brown puffballs.
This story's going on for too long, let's speed it up!
Waddle Dee and scarfy parts covered the ground. David had a chill down his spine, but continued to new game. He pressed yes, and it brought him to a bloody doom of a stage select.
What colorful language there.
There was fire in the background with the creatures of Dreamland burned to a bloody crisp. The level 1 was right in on a floating wall like someone carved it in. So were the other numbers. David entered the door to find screaming. David played as Meta Knight. He was in the woods walking around, leaving crunching beneath his feet. It was dark and there was a faint laughing in the background behind the demonic music. There wasn't anything other than Meta Knight, trees, leaves, and darkness. Meta Knight then saw the puffballs for the title stitched together and hung from a tree. Half a red body, half a blue, blood leaking from the gouged eyes, a purple arm on the left, brown on the right, yellow foot on the left, and a green foot on the right. The laugh grew louder as he walked farther.
Oh, this is sounding very familiar.
A blood trail began. Meta Knight stopped to examine it. He pulled out his sword. Meta Knight followed it. He walked up to Kirby from behind. As far as he could see, there was nothing wrong with Kirby. Kirby turned around. Meta Knight saw the demonic puffball and started running, but a Waddle Dee, also covered in blood with glowing red eyes, came from ahead. He was trapped. The two came close to Meta Knight and the screen went black. David was stunned. Kirby and Waddle Dee got Meta Knight. But what happened? He was placed with Bandana Waddle Dee, who was in front of the one door. The background still a bloody fiery mess. It had been blocked by 2x4s and nailed shut with chains. He went to level 2. He opened the door. When it opened, it was Meta Knight's dead body held by Kirby blocked the door. Bandana Waddle Dee ran over to the 3 door. It was locked. So was the 4 door and 5 and lastly 6. Text popped up with a timer. Let's see if he can beat Meta's record of life. David's eyes were wide along with Bandana Waddle Dee. The longest anyone could last was 10 seconds. After that, Kirby caught him.
What is going on? I'm so confused.
David was getting the chills. The only characters left was King DDD. DDD was sitting in his throne while Dreamland was being destroyed by an evil demonic Kirby. The king looked out the window. There were murdered creatures everywhere. Suddenly the door broke open. Kirby was wearing Bandana skin and Meta Knight's scratched and destroyed mask. DDD grabbed his hammer. Kirby used Meta Knight's sword. DDD was too much of a coward to swing. Kirby walked right up to him and the screen fuzzed out. A picture appeared of Kirby saying,
I will find you. And the Game Boy shut off. David put the Game Boy down. Then he heard the same laughing from the game. Credit to Nintendo. What kind of an ending is that? It just stops. What even happened in that story? I'm so incredibly confused. Number 4, a round devil. Already 5 months have passed. My family and I were hiding in our house. For 5 months a strange creature was wandering around our town. Whoever came close to the creature, it would devour him. The army even came to try and stop it, but it wouldn't. The creature sucked in the tanks with its mouth. Nothing worked at stopping the beast. During the night, while my family was hiding in the living room, I kept guard for the creature in sees it comes. I was paranoid by fear while waiting for the creature to come. All of a sudden, I saw a round and pink figure come close to me. I quickly ran inside my house and yelled out, "It's coming!" My father grabbed a gun and started to shoot at the creature. The creature swallowed the bullets and after started spitting them out. One of the bullets broke through my father's chest, killing him. My mother told me and my brother to run. Tears started to leak from her eyes. I was starting to get more and more worried. The creature then started to devour my mother. My brother and I started to run. My brother tripped and fell down. The creature came closer towards us. The sun started to raise. When the sun's rays hit the creature, I saw the last thing I expected. It was Kirby. Yeah, I don't think anyone was shocked by that plot twist. Why was Kirby even doing this? Who hurt him? I think I'm more interested in the backstory of this evil Kirby than I am in the actual story, and that's not a good thing. Number 3. Ghost.png. Hi, my name is Mason. I like to study creepypastas today after watching the Kirby trailer. Wait, so Kirby sparked your interest in spooky spaghetti? I wanted to try it, but I experienced something else. Day 1, it was dark. It was past my bedtime. Still, I kept searching for my Game Boy. Day 2, I woke up in the night. Wanting to play a game on the day off, I opened the closet door and found my computer. I searched on it for the Kirby game ROMs. I started searching for some hidden bosses. I found something called Ghost.png. Day 3, I called my friend Joseph. I told him if he can do a ROM hack of the game. He said, "What do you want added?" I told him, "The boss Ghost.png." Day 4, I tried the game. After reaching the boss, it was the Marowak ghost, but it was glitchy. I said to myself, "Why is it here?" After defeating the boss, the game froze. I got scared and never played with that boss ever again. So this experience was pretty much real. Instead, it happened in a Pokemon game with the code buried_alive. Yep, always something creepy. Well, that was fucking pointless and made no sense. Number 2, Kirby 64 Horror. What a wonderful pun. Okay, so I'm a nostalgia type of guy. I like retro games. Sue me. Yeah man, you're the only one in the world who does that. So anyways, I bought a Nintendo 64 off of a site where you buy stuff from others. When it got delivered, I had my friends Kyle and Tom play it with me. Oh no, is this the extended Sonic.exe universe? When they left, I saw a Kirby 64 chart rage on my couch. I thought Kyle or Tom had dropped it, but I started playing. When I popped it in, nothing looked wrong. Why would it? The title screen looked normal. Then on the first level, everything was black and white. I thought maybe it was a glitch, or my TV wasn't working. When I swallowed enemies, red circles started forming around Kirby's mouth. Then, when I used one of my powers on enemies, blood splattered everywhere. When I finished the level, I was taken to the, spoilers, 0-2 boss fight, but it was different. Kirby had a creepy smile with red eyes. Spoilers! When I defeated him, a picture of the creepy Kirby popped on screen. Words popped on screen saying, "Run, he is coming for you." Then, the game crashed. I figured it was hacked and gave the game to Tom because I'm nice like that. Later, I found out that it was indeed hacked by Kyle. And so that was the end. Or was it? Yes, it was. The story ends here. Thank you, goodbye. Number 1. Death Kirby. Okay, so, our educational system has failed. Is this how people write these days? This is making me sick. Well, I am a huge Kirby fan. On my email, I received a new Kirby game. Only wait, what not was boring, I downloaded later. The file is called Kirby. That name is strange. The game had relation to that strange Mario World hack, Mario. No, they have absolutely nothing in common. Why are you bringing this up? Later, I played the Kirby game, and the intro is Kirby Superstar Ultra Intro with Kirby and the Amazing Mirror Sprites. The words said, Death Kirby, WTF. That name is too creepy. Not really. The game starts, no music, and then a waddle-dee say, "Run, Kirby, he comes." Too creepy, that words. I tried close the game, but then said, "You don't escape of that." Later they two appear, Fumu and Bun. WTH are doing characters of anime in that game, you fucking weeaboo. They too don't talk much to me, only say Kirby hurry run. Later appears Blood and Fumu and Bun scream. Later go to see them and they death. Then start to play the creepy World of Nothing of Super Paper Mario. A Kirby of red eyes, purple hands and blood in his mouth appears. Totally I tried escape of the game, then say I leave you live a few days. Then the Death Kirby kill Kirby. Meta Knight, DDD, Bandana D, Drawsia and all of the Popstar people, but the strange was Drawsia, Sprites, they also Gijinka because my theory of zero controls Drawsia. What the fuck? What is going on? This was written in Chinese and translated through Google Translate like 500 times, right? I play Toho and Mother 3. Hey man, Mother 3 is a great game. Good stuff. And send words of Death Kirby. Later I play my Muggin and challenge Death Kirby. Char, my character was Flandre, and I beat so hard. Never download games with strangest name on his emails or evil spirits like Sonic.exe, Ghost, Gygas, Ben, Death Kirby, Uboa, Creepypasta Hina, Zolgo, Pinkie Pie, etc. may kill you. Why did you list Zolgo twice? This is fucking amazing. This is the best story I've ever read. I'm gonna go now. And that was our journey through Dreamland and through the Creepypasta Vault for now. Before we all go completely insane and bash our heads against the wall, let's exit and take a deep breath of fresh air. Feels good to be free again. Run on home now and stay safe. I've been your tour guide. My name is Dennis. If you're interested in future updates for the channel or other things like that, then make sure you check out my Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat pages. If you're interested in supporting the channel, then also consider checking out my Patreon page. On that note, I would like to give a thank you to my wonderful Patreon supporters, who helped make this video possible. I recently uploaded 2 new commentary tracks from my $5+ patrons, so check that out if it sounds interesting to you. Thanks for watching, everyone. Stay awesome. Goodbye.